Some bits are at Price and News 2410 next.
Tonight, an Elkville man accused of making false bomb threats to businesses in Canada made his first court appearance this week. Plus, with rain coming down, river levels rising, and not a whole lot of sun, a lot of our area is seeing bad road conditions lately. We have reaction next. Plus, the Illinois Fire Service Institute is holding a 2-day hazmat training session for first responders in the region. We have those stories and more tonight on the Tuesday night edition of News 24 at 10.
Live, Little Egypt's breaking news source. This is News 24 at 10.
And good evening, thanks for joining us. We have a lot of news to get to, but we begin in Jackson County, where an Elkville man accused of making false bomb threats to businesses in Canada made his first court appearance this week. 36-year-old Justin Bagley of Elkville faces 11 separate disorderly conduct charges for making false bomb threats. Between February 7th and 9th, Bagley is accused of scarring the small community of Tabor in Alberta, Canada, by threatening schools and businesses through anonymous voice messages. Bagley faces 2 to 5 years imprisonment on each of the 11 counts. If convicted, this would be his second time behind bars for making a false bomb threat. In 2005, Bagley threatened the Walmart in Des Moines, according to court records. The public defender claimed he was unfit for trial, but a judge found him guilty and sent him to prison. In 2006, Bagley was back on the street, facing charges in Jackson County for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. In 2008, he was back again in front of a judge for charges of a felon in possession of a firearm. He was sentenced to 2 more years in prison. In 2015, Bagley was back in prison, this time on domestic battery charges. Upon recommendation by the judge, Bagley was ordered to receive mental health treatment during his incarceration. Bagley appeared in court Monday on the new charges. The judge appointed a public defender and set his bond at $350,000. A preliminary hearing is set for the end of the month. To the weather, where eyes are now turned to the weekend as the possibility of winter weather persists. News 24's Terry Rodriguez is in with the latest. Alright, thanks Terry. With rain coming down, river levels rising, and not a whole lot of sun, a lot of our area is seeing bad road conditions lately. However, some folks in rural Perry County think they've got it the worst. Mike Polk says he's been living in his home on Seagull Road for well over a decade, and the roads leading there bring him plenty of hassles. He says Seagull Road and Blue Jay Road are dangerously slippery right now, and they're riddled with potholes that damage cars. He said it's mostly a nuisance for him. However, he has real concern for his elderly neighbors in the event of an emergency. Patsy LePay with the Pinckneyville Ambulance Service says in all of the 20-plus years she's been a paramedic, there hasn't been a road she and her crews haven't been able to access somehow. In fact, she said she had an ambulance out in the same area as Polk recently. Lippe said when first responders can't drive on the road, they will go to great lengths to get their job done. Whether it be walking with equipment, calling the fire department for help, or even borrowing an all-terrain vehicle, she said they'll find a way. And for our full interview, you can go to our website, www.news24si.com. The Illinois Fire Service Institute is holding a 2-day hazmat training session for first responders in the region. The class kicked off this morning at the West City Community Center and will continue to Wednesday afternoon. Matt Bryan, the field instructor for the Illinois Fire Service, says the program teaches participants how to teach others in their department about hazardous material incidents. Multiple agencies are taking part, including the Franklin County Emergency Management as well as Benton and West City Fire Departments. A firefighter from Godfrey also traveled down for the training session. Benton firefighter Alex Melvin says the session will allow him to instruct local law enforcement, EMS, and city workers how to contain a hazardous material situation safely. Melvin, who is also an EMT, says there has been several hazmat situations at residential homes. West City Fire Chief Amos Abbott says teaching these skills to others is imperative due to transportation routes in our area. Both Melvin and Abbott say by teaching first responders how to better handle hazardous situations, it will also keep residents safe. During day 2 of the training, participants will do teach-backs, showing the instructor they have successfully retained all the material. Then after completing the program, they'll be certified by the Illinois Fire Service and Illinois Emergency Management Agency. The Senate overwhelmingly passed legislation today that was introduced by U.S. Senators Tammy Duckworth and Dick Durbin to honor the legacy of the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln, by expanding the Lincoln Heritage Area in Illinois to include Livingston County, the city of Jonesboro and Union County, and the city of Freeport and Stevenson County. The Abraham Lincoln National Heritage Area Amendment Act, which passed the Senate as part of the Natural Resources Management Act, will increase economic opportunities for Illinoisans working to preserve the historic site and create new recreation, tourism, and educational projects. U.S. Congressman Adam Kinzinger has introduced companion legislation in the U.S. House of Representatives. The legislation unanimously passed the Senate Energy and Natural Resources Committee last year, and it would not add a dime to the deficit. The existing Lincoln National Heritage Area was established in 2008 and preserves the rich legacy of President Lincoln. The region includes 42 counties across central Illinois, stretching from the Indiana border to the Mississippi River, and is one of the largest heritage areas in the nation. The site generates approximately $260 million in economic impact, supports more than 3,000 jobs, and generates $25 million in tax revenue. The counties that would be added to the Lincoln National Heritage Area under this legislation are of special significance to President Lincoln's personal and professional life. These areas are where Lincoln developed his legal career within the 8th Judicial District. They are also home to the sites of the historic Lincoln-Douglas debates. You can help News 24 back the blue this week by donating to the National Police Defense Foundation. Donate any amount and you might be eligible for a prize. You can find the link on our Facebook page. Much more local news, sports, and weather is coming up next on News 24, but first, here's a look at your national headlines. Fox News update.
In Fox News. He's unsure. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. President Trump weighing in on the tentative